All right, at this time, we're pleased to be joined by Michigan head coach Dusty May, as well as student athletes Namari Burnett, Yaxel Lindeberg, and Will Cheddar. Just a reminder, if you have a question, please raise your hand. We'll start with the opening statement from Coach May.
We're extremely proud of our guys, the way they competed against a storied program like Tennessee that's as well coached as anyone in the country, against a team that has battled all year and really improved as the season's gone on. But our guys have been up to the challenge to deliver at the in the biggest moments all year, and nothing changed tonight. But just to be proud, we're all just very proud to be a part of this group.
All right, questions? We'll start in the second row in the middle.
Chris Ballas with the Wolverines. Yaxel looked like they came out physically. They got some offensive rebounds early. Can you just talk about how you adapted to that and how big a part Will played in that as well?
Yeah, well, we knew the name of the game was going to be physicality, and they were the number one offensive team in the country for a reason. You know, they showed us in those first 4 minutes. You know, in the immediate timeout, we all regrouped. You know, we thought about what we needed to do. That was the game plan all along. So once we started hitting them back and they stopped getting the same offensive rebounds, the game definitely started to shift. Will did a great job walling up and getting those loose balls, or even just tipping it out for us. And making it easier for all the other guys, man. So shout out to Will for his toughness.
Go back on the right side.
This is Mike McGraw, Daily Herald. Just for any of the players, I think a lot of us suspected all year that the Big Ten was the best conference. Now that you have two in the Final Four, is there any kind of vindication in knowing that you guys did have the toughest path to get here?
Yeah, we've done a good job throughout the course of the Big Ten, taking it one game at a time and understanding the opponents that we have at hand. And it's no surprise to see, a few Big Ten teams have late success in the Elite Eight, Sweet 16, and now the Final Four. So, like you said, like Gax said, it's a blessing to be here, and also a blessing to be here with some Big Ten teams as well.
Go to the second row on the left.
Dan Wolkin with Yahoo Sports. When you guys flashed the way you did in Vegas, and obviously everybody starts talking about this team as a potential Final Four team, what's it like as a coach or what's the challenge, I guess, as a coach to try to figure out how you take that and extend it all the way out to, to March and April?
I think that the most difficult part is that everyone starts getting so much more attention, advice, literally everything they get more of. And it's difficult not to make it about you, because the people you're talking to are making it about you, and everyone is having those same things going on. So there's just a lot of distracting information, and if you're not mature and you're not connected as a group and you're not willing to be held accountable by the staff and each other, then it's not going to work. And once it creeps in, it's almost impossible to weed it out. And so our guys never let it in. I mean, trust me, like they all had different fires that were ignited by other people and they just stayed the course and stayed about each other. And that's ultimately why we're here. I mean, these guys you guys see it. We weren't a super team, but these guys became super teammates.
Go to the third row on the far right.
Paul Sullivan, Chicago Tribune. I guess this is for Will and Namari. You were on the team a couple years ago, lost 24 games. Just talk about the journey going from there to here, and did you ever imagine it would be like this?
Will, you want to take that first?
Sure. Man, I just think, it's obviously, such a blessing to be surrounded by, just such great people, heading it off with, Coach May bringing in, and surrounding the program with, great mentors and great coaches, and then, great players. So, it's easy to be successful when, you're surrounded by great people.
Namari, you think of that?
I mean, Will put it perfectly. I agree.
Go in the front row in the middle.
This is for Yax. Why not all three of you? Just that Michigan crowd tonight. Was this something you envisioned when you wanted to get the number one seed in the Midwest? You knew you'd fill this place up with maize and blue. Talk about what that felt like in this game today.
It felt amazing, this whole tournament felt like a home game, no matter where we were. We have a lot of Michigan fans everywhere in the world. They're the best fans I've ever been a part of. They really give us energy and life, and they make us want to, dive on the floor for those guys, make an extra play on defense, offense, whatever we want to do, just because of how much support and love they've been showing us all year. There's nothing that we can't do with the support that we have behind us.
We're going to the left in the front row.
Zan Bando TS, and this is for Coach May. Coach, can you just kind of put into words what it means to make the Final Four just with this group and how complimentary you've been of their resilience all year long?
Yeah, this was obviously one of the goals because of the talent we had in our locker room. There's a slippery slope of being happy and content that we're there, but also knowing you still have work to do for us to accomplish what could be our ultimate goal is to be playing on Monday. And we have a sign in our locker room that says April Habits. And from day one, we've challenged these guys to develop championship-level habits that would allow us to win a Big Ten championship and would also allow us to turn the calendar from March until April. And now we've put ourselves in position to do that. And so tonight, tomorrow will be all about getting better. And these guys have all improved so much as individuals because of the work they put into, and they're intentional with everything they do every single day. And they've really helped each other.
Go to the fourth row on the left.
Bob Wadowski, Detroit News. For Yaxel and other players too, whoever, but you guys have been unabashed about what you wanted to do, where you plan to go. Now that you have one step away, you're in the Final Four. Does it meet what you thought it would meet, the moment meet it?
Absolutely, man. When this group got together, just like Coach is saying, we all wanted to make it to the national championship and win it. You know, we worked tirelessly on making sure that our mental is right, you know, not just physical, you know, and we all trust each other. We all play hard for each other. We make extra plays for each other, you know. We're going to do whatever we want for each other, you know. So just being able to make it this far and continuing to, you know, want to get more means a lot. It means just means how much we've done together as a unit and how unselfish this team has been all year.
Go front row in the middle.
Yeah, for Charles Post, SB Nation. You just mentioned unselfishness. It seemed like during that 21-0 run, the ball was really humming around. You guys were making extra passes. What goes into that, and why is that what happens when you guys are really moving the ball like that?
Man, we start off every practice pretty much with hibachi passing. You know, that's that's pretty much the drill. We go out there and we make the right pass. You know, so like I was saying before, we're an unselfish group of guys. You know, nobody cares about their stats on this team. You know, we don't have a man, we don't have a best player on this team. We have a guy who's going to show up that night. We have a couple guys. It doesn't matter. You know, we're going to go out there and do whatever we need to win. And if it's making an extra pass, everybody on this team will make that extra pass for each other, no matter what's going on.
Go all the way back on the left.
Nancy Armour, USA Today Sports. Namari, when you were up here 2 weeks ago, you said that you guys had wanted to go 3 for 3. How did you get over that disappointment and shift it to go then, 2 for 2 now?
By understanding that we had a lot to play for and that our goals was still pretty much ahead of us. And going that 3 for 3, our mindset was to cut 2 more nets after the Big Ten Big Ten championship, the regular season. And I didn't know that you could cut nets for the Final Four. So basically, we still have 2 more. We got this, and then we have the national championship to go.
Stay in the back left.
Eli Ong, WGN News. This one's for Namari. You know, you're a Chicago kid, born and raised, won a state championship at Morgan Park, played a pretty big role in that state championship as a freshman too, 3 threes in overtime. What does it mean having this moment in the UC, and where does it rank for you in your basketball career and all the memories you've had on the hardwood?
No offense to Morgan Park in that time as a state champion, but I'm going to have to put this one number 1. But also understanding that those moments have led me to this exact moment and understanding what it takes to win. And so I cherished that moment when I was younger and helping the team win and doing it on a big stage. But I don't think this stage, it doesn't get any better than this stage.
We're going to go 3rd row in the middle.
Brandon Carr, clickondetroit.com. This is for all the players. Coming into the matchup, Elliot Cadeau he was, I want to say, 6 assists away from a career milestone of 1,000. And I believe he was, I want to say, 3 or 4 points away. No, from 600 assists and 1,000 points. He was 3 points away. Speak on his performance and how do you feel about his performance throughout this whole tournament so far?
Namara, you want to take that?
Yeah, I'll take it. He just sets the pace and the tone of the game. I mean, even prior to the game, his mentality and getting us all pumped up, just giving us the right juice that we all individually and as a team need to go out there and play a good brand of basketball, but also just being a game manager making sure that we're all in the right spots. And I mean, he sees things that we don't even see ourselves. So a super unselfish guy. So the success that he has is he deserves it and more.
Go back in the third row, Adam.
Adam Rittenberg with ESPN. Dusty, when they were cutting down the nets, I noticed you were kind of by the basket, supported by yourself, watching them. I know you've reached this stage before, but what's kind of going through your mind as you see those guys climbing the ladder?
Well, I know how much of a sacrifice that our families have made for us to chase our dreams and do what we love. They're playing a child's game. I'm coaching a child's game. And so when you look in one spot are all these people that have poured into them, their old coaches, their whoever the case, that have supported them and poured into them and made their parents have made countless sacrifices for them to have this opportunity. It's just rewarding to see these moments when everyone's together. And so, yeah, that's it. It's not that I've been here before. It's just like, man, this is really cool seeing all these people that have helped us get to where we are that don't get a chance to celebrate in the locker rooms like we do. To have the bus trips and the plane rides and all the experiences we share together. They don't have an opportunity to do that. So when they do have a chance to share this experience, and it's just really cool to see.
We go front row on the right.
I'd highly recommend next year's team doing it also.
Zach Warshaw, WCBN FM Ann Arbor. You guys have preached just how much team chemistry, team bonding is important to you. It's been such a key factor, whether it be your trip up north or your TikTok lives, Yaks, just for any of the players. How much has that propelled you guys to the Final Four? And just can you elaborate on just the team becoming a family, not just a team?
Oh, man. From day one, the vets, Will and Amari, LJ, Roddy, those guys pretty much tucked us in under their wing and showed us the Michigan way. Nobody had any secret motives. Nobody tried to beat anybody out from day one. And it pretty much set the standard for how Michigan is going to be this year. When we went up there and went on that team vacation, man, it was awesome. I was pretty much the only guy sheltered playing the video games all to the morning. I remember Will and Oscar were gonna go to the lake, and I was up still playing 2K at like 6 in the morning. It was an interesting moment. They finally got to see me in my element, but man. It was really fun, and then just all the road trips, man. We started playing Among Us as of recent. It's awesome. We're all being super childish, just having fun. Not letting any other noise bother us, shading everything, and just playing our hearts out for each other.
Go back on the far left.
Mark Giannotto, USA Today. This is a question for Dusty about Yaxel. The country's seeing sort of his personality over these last few weeks, and it seems like his spirit is something that's a little different than other guys on the team. I'm curious how you would describe it and how he and you have kind of harnessed it to what we're seeing out there.
Well, we've challenged Yaks to think about how he's perceived, and you hate to be like that because he's so authentic and he has such a big heart, and you want that to shine. But also, too, I think one of the really cool things about this group is that we've all kind of accepted where we are at that moment or where we were at the moment we got together, and we didn't expect Yaks to have the best practice habits because once he got here, he didn't have them. But we also tried to pull every single day and just get him a little bit closer, and we didn't judge him. We didn't judge Will. We didn't judge Damari for where they were in their journey. Everyone simply tried to support each other instead of criticizing or whatever the case. Because, look, on every team, you could go down the line. We all have strengths and we all have weaknesses. And we're going to live in our strengths, but we're also going to try to help each other with our weaknesses. And as humans, we have flaws. We have personality flaws that we can get better at. And when you know someone loves you and cares about you, and they criticize you or they try to fix you, then you know it's coming from a great place. And I know our guys, anytime they've had anything go on in their life, anyone giving them advice, friendship, whatever the case, is out of the right place, which is to help them be the best they can be.
Good time for two more questions. Got on the left aisle.
Clayton Sayfield with the Wolverine. Coach, Michigan's made the Final Four at least once in 6 out of the last 7 decades, 9 overall. Can you speak to this elite program that you're leading and what this milestone means in Michigan history?
Yeah, obviously the brand of Michigan as a university is world renowned, and as a basketball program, I was speaking with I can't remember one of the media guys about the game. I think it was Kevin for Westwood. What you remember as a kid, and he started asking me the first teams I remembered, and the '89 Michigan team was one of the first teams that I remembered. I mean, with Terry, who's with us now, and Ramil and all those guys, and then the Fab Five did as much culturally for our sport, and since I've been alive as anyone other than MJ, and so very, very grateful that all of those people have poured in to allow us to represent Michigan, to have all the resources necessary to get here. And I think we're all carrying the flag for all those old guys. And when they come back in the summer, that's the worst part of having a program that has had multiple coaches, that there's not one umbrella. But we've tried to welcome all the different eras with open arms, because they've laid the foundation for all of us to receive what we have.
Second row on the right.
Lane Higgins from the Wall Street Journal. Dusty, this is for you. Statistically speaking, this is one of the biggest turnarounds and fastest turnarounds from Michigan 2 seasons ago to now. And I know you didn't necessarily come in like the coach at your alma mater and say, I win, Google me, but did you have any sort of messaging that you had to establish with this team to sort of kind of reinvigorate it after a very down year?
No, we felt like once we got these guys to stay and we added the pieces that we did in the portal, that we had a chance to be good, and a lot has to go right. But no, it was more along the lines, let's get the guys in here that we can lose with. And if we're not good, then we're going to be building towards something great, and they're going to be foundational pieces. And that's what we did. And we, just like we have this year, we have a group that I could have lost with these guys. I didn't think we would, because we're so talented. But if we did, I wouldn't feel much less about them. I would feel guilty we didn't give them the experiences that they deserve. But for the most part, this is a group that you can lose with because of all the other attributes they bring to the table. But obviously, when you have the talent we have, you're not going to lose much as long as they stay connected.
All right, one last question. Fourth row on the left.
This is for Coach Dusty May. Charlie Sponge and Medill News Service. What do you think flipped around that 11-minute mark that allowed a 21-0 run to start?
The game got loosened up, and I want to give our staff a lot of credit. They managed the foul trouble in the minutes as well as we have all year, and that was a big part of it. With Rez and Adai having 2 fouls each, we could have gotten out of our rotation, could have got out in a rhythm, and those guys came back in. We stayed in our rotations, and more than anything else, I think the beautiful brand of basketball we were playing became contagious. You could see these guys feeding off of each other. And when you have the big-time stop and 4 guys block out, 1 guy gets a rebound, then you lead the break, and all 5 guys have a big, big part in beautiful basketball, it just feels so much greater for all of us. And that became contagious, it became energizing, and then it just became a snowball that just kept going.
All right, gentlemen, thank you for your time. Congratulations. Best of luck in Indianapolis.
Thank you, man. Thank you.
Michigan's locker room is still open for another